Welcome to Cine Secrets Movie Untold Stories. In today's episode, we dive into one of the most fascinating and controversial reality shows ever created, Big Boss.
एक का वोट जितने लोग रेडी उसके हिसाब से होगा।
ऐसी बात नहीं है, बोला ना मैंने वही।
सीधे से बात करो ना, लोग बोलने बात करो, लोग बोलने का।
For millions of Indians, it's not just a television program, it's an obsession. But here's something surprising. Its roots are not in television at all, but in a chilling work of literature, George Orwell's 1984. When Orwell's novel was published in 1949, it shocked the world. It imagined a society where freedom was an illusion, where every man and woman lived under constant surveillance, and at the heart of this world was an invisible, all-powerful figure, Big Brother. He wasn't just a leader, he was an ever-present watcher. He knew what you did, what you said, even what you thought. It was terrifying, but it was also a warning, a mirror to show us what could happen if power and control went unchecked.
De winnaar van Big Brother is geworden Bart.
Decades later, this very concept gave rise to a television experiment in the Netherlands. In 1999, the show was called Big Brother. A group of people were placed inside a house, cut off from the outside world. No family, no friends, no phone, no internet. Just cameras and microphones following them everywhere. Their lives, every word, every conflict, every private emotion was put on display for the audience. This simple yet powerful concept soon spread across the world. And eventually, it found its Indian avatar, Big Boss. The Big Boss house is more than just a set. It is a social laboratory. Imagine being trapped in one house for weeks, surrounded by strangers, every move being recorded, every secret exposed. No escape, no privacy.
बसीर से पूछा कि who would you date, तान्या, फरहाना या फिर मैंने बोला या नेहल, तो बोलता देखो पूरे घर की लड़कियां एक तरफ, फरहाना एक तरफ, सब everyone was like oh.
Under this pressure, human behavior changes. People argue, form alliances, betray one another, or break down emotionally. And that, precisely, is what creates the drama that keeps millions glued to their screens.
आप लोग हिपोक्रेट होते हैं, आप बातें बड़ी बड़ी करते हैं और जब मौका आता है तो आप अपनी दोस्ती के पीछे छिपते हैं, अपने वादों के पीछे छिपते हैं। आप लोगों को कोई हक नहीं बनता कि आज के बाद मुझे बोले कि मैं बैकफुट पे खेलता हूं, क्योंकि मैं ऐसा ही हूं।
There are weekly tasks, nominations, evictions, and punishments. Contestants fight for survival, but unlike a traditional competition, the real power lies with the viewers. We, the audience, decide who stays and who leaves. That gives us a sense of control, almost as if we too are part of the experiment.
फरहाना निहायत ही बदतमीज, बददिमाग और बेशर्म लड़की है।
जी की उतने मुझे स्ट्रांग नहीं लगती उनके सामने।
उसका टोन हमेशा थोड़ा रूड रहता है।
जब भी आपका गेम चालू हुआ या तो शायद अगली बार मैं आपके लिए वोट करूंगा।
But here's where things get complicated. What kind of content keeps us hooked? It's not kindness, friendship, or teamwork. What sells is conflict, insults, shouting matches, tears, humiliation. This is the fuel that runs the Big Boss machine. And we, the viewers, consume it with excitement.
तू बदला लिया है,
ठीक है।
बदला लेता है।
तो सीधा जाके लेफ्ट ले और चाय बना और सबको पिला, सीधा जाके लेफ्ट ले चाय बना और सबको पिला, चल 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 चल।
We share the clips, laugh at the memes, and argue about the contestants on social media. But have you ever asked yourself, are we slowly normalizing behaviors that we would never accept in real life?
मैं कोई काम नहीं करूंगा।
नहीं क्यों?
भाई साहब मेरे को बराबर करने की आदत है। जब तक तू टाइम कोड रहेगा मैं कोई काम नहीं करूंगा। मेरी ड्यूटी का नाम है मेरी मर्जी।
मेरी मर्जी चलेगी।
मैं भी कुछ नहीं कर रहा, मेरी मर्जी।
Think about it. In real life, if someone abused or humiliated another person in front of us, we would call it unacceptable. Yet on screen, when the same thing happens, it is packaged as entertainment.
ईशा और एलिस कैसे गए उधर? 6 लोग जा रहे हैं।
आपको पहला रूल ब्रेक होता ही आपको सीधा फाउल कार्ड दिखाना है कि तुम ये गेम हार चुके हो।
The more toxic it gets, the higher the ratings. Gradually, we start expecting conflict, and once hooked, we tune in every day, asking ourselves, what's next? Who will fight tomorrow? Who will break down next week? That curiosity, that craving for the next dose of drama, is the real trap of Big Boss.
आपको यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है आवेश? If you don't fight your battle, who wins? आप बिल्कुल चुप हो मुद्दों पे जहाँ पर आपको एक्चुअली बोलना चाहिए. If you get lost, you have no chance on this show. अमाल, आपका जो कैरेक्टर आ रहा है बहुत ज़्यादा दोगला आ रहा है और आप किसी के नहीं हैं.
But this is not something new. If we look back in history, ancient Rome offers us a chilling parallel. There, thousands of people gathered in grand arenas to watch gladiators fight each other to the death. The defeated were thrown to wild beasts, and the audience roared with applause. It was brutal, violent, even inhuman, but for the spectators, it was entertainment.
To give you Adrius Maximus.
Salute you.
Now, compare that with today. We no longer watch bloodshed in arenas. Instead, we watch emotional battles, insults, and breakdowns inside the Big Boss house. So the question is, have we really changed as an audience, or has only the stage changed?
Disqualify कर. Wait one minute.
ये देखो स्मार्ट बंदा खुद का प्लेयर के आता है खेलना दूसरों को बताने चला.
बोलते जा रही है.
बकवास कर रही है.
चला.
तुम्हारी गलती है. मेरी गलती मानो. नहीं मानूंगी.
George Orwell once warned that if surveillance becomes total, humanity will lose its ability to think freely. Ironically, what was once a nightmare vision of politics has now transformed into a prime-time reality show. The cameras are always watching. The housemates can never escape. Big Brother, once a symbol of fear, has been reborn as a global entertainment brand. But perhaps the scariest part is this. We, the viewers, are not just watching. In a way, we are also participating. Our votes decide their fate, our reactions fuel the drama, and our attention keeps the cycle alive.
So you want to change again? वैसी वो फॉर्म में आना तो आ जा. कोई चक्कर में.
क्या क्या क्या?
अभी तू जो फॉर्म में घूम रहा है.
फॉर्म में घूम रहा हूँ मैं?
तो कुछ बोल.
पागल है क्या यार? उसका दिमाग खराब है.
Big Boss is undeniably entertaining. It delivers drama, suspense, and unpredictability. But behind the flashing lights and the shouting matches lies something darker. The spread of toxic behavior, the normalization of abuse, and the psychological addiction of the audience. That is the part we often ignore, but it is the part that truly matters.
जीशान भाई,
तरीका नहीं है तेरे पास.
आपका जो एटीट्यूड है, you are an actress and everybody else is nothing. तान्या,
मैं गौरव भाई को नॉमिनेट करो.
नहीं चाहती कि मैं सच बताऊं उसका.
And so, today's journey on Cine Secrets comes to an end. From George Orwell's 1984 to Big Brother, and from Big Brother to Big Boss, it's a journey from fear to entertainment, from literature to reality television. But the final question remains, are we really just spectators? Or have we already become part of the game ourselves?